No tricky road course turns left for the NASCAR Wendy's Cup Series this season. Today we are at the high-banked Hillside International Speedway for the Cabela's Day Race. Hello everybody, my name is Colin Denton. I'll be on the call today for RVN. Let's quickly take a look at our starting grid. On the pole today is the number 1 NFL Rams Ford of Rampage, his second pole of the season. And on the outside is the number 3 HendrickCars.com Chevy of Colin Lindsay. On the second row, we have Johnny Gardner and Grayson Acevedo. On the third row, we have John Arndt and NASCAR Fan 1418. On the fourth row, Paul Brenner and Marty Johnson. On the fifth row, Carson Scott and Dexter Black. On the sixth row, Josh Harris and Harry Sauerot. On the seventh row, Tyler Markell and Stephen Willey. In the eighth row, Andrew Golden and Dejon Weeks. And in the ninth row, NASCAR Man number 1 and William Brock. And in the 10th row, NASCAR Fan 19 and Dale Jr. Dude 88. As we let the rest of the field go by, 4 races left in the race to the chase for the Wendy's Cup. This is race number 13 of 16 that contribute to those chase points. If we take a look at that chase grid, you'll see that one driver is still omitted from this grouping. That is Dejon Weeks. He has fallen out of the top 35. At the moment, he's not eligible, but he's got time to make up those points. But as you can see, we got 11 drivers that are eligible. They're on this list. They're all listed as winners. And we've got several drivers competing for a bubble spot in case someone manages to become a repeat winner. So we have to see how that plays out. John Arndt, Alexander Miller, NASCAR Fan 19, Eric Van Arsdale, they're all in that grouping. Grayson Acevedo has got a very comfortable lead, but he's going to have to keep it up and make sure and hope that someone else wins a second time. Well, as the cars pull onto the track, it's not going to be a long pace lap for them as they come off the pit road that ends on turn number 2. So we're going to have a short little time to queue up here, and the pace car is going to pull off and probably still going to be on the track as the green flag flies as they come around this corner. Pit road not until turn number 1, but here comes the green flag, and it is waving, and race number 13 of the Wendy's Cup Series has commenced. Two by two they go. Rampage pulls out onto the outside line, tries to make the block on Lindsay, try to make track position work out. As they come around the turn, you can see he's got a good momentum coming. He leads the first lap. Now keep in mind, the last 2 races, he's been on both spectrums of fuel mileage. At Ontario, he takes the win as Wanderley pits, but here at New Jersey, takes an early pit stop, and that costs him later in the race. So fuel strategy, got to keep an eye on that today as well. Grayson Acevedo, we talked about him just a few minutes ago, on the bubble of staying in the chase contention so long as we can get more than one, or rather a repeat winner. He's 3rd place right now, so he's comfortably extending his lead on all the other bubble drivers. He's just got to maintain that momentum and keep putting himself up there. William Brock is the next car in line. 20 some odd points behind Acevedo, but running in the 20th position, that's going to cost him even more points if he remains in that position. He's trying to fend off some cars around him. He's got a tight little pack back in the middle of the section. You can see 3 wide right there, right in front of him and a little bit behind him. And John Green, tied with Brock. He runs the 40 position though. And he's been a strong contender throughout this Bubble Watch season, but he has not been putting up some good numbers so far, and now he's not running very well today, not qualifying quite where he wanted to. Eric Van Arsdale, 9th in the point standings, 103 points back of Brenner, runs the 28th position. See them scattering into turn number 1. A little bit further back from him is Alexander Miller, who runs the 32nd position. He's only 1 point behind Van Arsdale. You can see he's fading back a little bit. The inside line's got a little bit better run coming through these corners. So there are some of your drivers that are looking to maintain their spot and make the chase cutoff line. Far through the field, they've single filed out. We've got some side-by-side racing throughout the back of the pack. Rampage has put himself out in front. Lindsay has maintained second position. Acevedo third. can see we've got some sponsorship from NASCAR Racing 2003 season. One of the tracks developed in 2003. You can see William Brock continues to fight up there. He would love to gain some ground on Acevedo. He'd love to take away that bubble spot. That bubble spot belongs to Acevedo so long as we find a repeat winner this season. It's going to be difficult, though. We got 4 races, including this race, left to go to get one. As they come through the corners, we got to keep an eye on pit lane. What lap are they going to choose to pit on is going to determine where we find them on pit lane later on in the race. That's all going to depend on caution flags. Anything could adjust the pit strategies in this race. We are going to head to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Rampage leads the field.
Chase Elliott, Xfinity Series champ. One word, merchandising. The Chase Elliott seat cover with massaging beard action. Your face is giving the massage.
Are you serious?
The Chase Elliott dipstick.
You know you're big time when you got your own dipstick.
Jumper cables. Tire gauge.
Psst, 32 pounds.
Chase Elliott garden gnome.
Gnomes are magic.
The Chase Elliott action figure.
That's a blow-up doll.
Blow-up doll action figure.
Back at Hillside with more NASCAR Wendy's Cup Series action, Rampage maintains the lead. In fact, the top 9 or 10 have remained pretty consistent as we rejoin race coverage on lap number 21. You can see most of the field is actually filed out so far. Rampage, who's already won this season, could he be our repeat winner? He's dominated every lap so far this race. He's driving a good line. You can see they're trying to keep themselves in the groove. They kind of run the middle of it, not necessarily touching the yellow line below them, but they're kind of running a little bit farther up the track. You can see that they run the middle of that shaded area. That's the groove of the racetrack. They're really keeping themselves in the middle there. They don't want to get out of there, otherwise hit the apron or get out of the rubber. They're going to lose that grip. You can see John Green, he's still struggling to keep up. He's trying to put himself back in bubble contention, but he runs the back of the field right now. And here we go. Cars ducking down, leaders coming in. Lindsay, he takes over the lead, and he's going to be the first lap led that's not by Rampage. Look at the lap counter, lap 25. That could be a short pit for some of these drivers that just came in. You can see on the bottom right, there's who just came in. And they're getting service right now. It's going to be fuel for them, probably some tires as well. See what some of these guys take. These front 3 were all in the leader positions. They were your front runners, and it looks like they're all going for rights. They're all going for lefts. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for most of this field. We're going to have to see who gets off first, because they can definitely be contenders. Well, Rampage got off pit road first, but it looks like Gardner had a little bit more momentum, and it looks like he might take over that position from Rampage. That might put him in the lead. Here comes another group of cars in for pit stops. Lindsay, 4 tires. He took over the race lead. NASCAR Finn 1418 now has it. He is also out, but it looks like he's also come in as Harris. He comes in for service. He was your winner last week. And it looks like he actually made some contact with someone on pit road. That might give him a little bit of damage that needs to be repaired. Then here comes Juckum. That Baltimore Ravens Chevy. He is the lone person to not make a pit stop yet. He's in now. He led a lap. He got a little bonus point right there, and that's going to be 4-tire stop for him. So as all these cars file off pit road, now we got to look around and see where all of these cars are going to be after this green flag pit stop cycle, where are these cars going to be lined up and positioned? And one is spinning. We got Wanderley in turn 1. He's on the apron of the track, and Campbell makes contact. Van Arsdale makes contact. Wanderley's car is smoking. You can see the car. There goes the leaders. They slow down. Looks like the caution was taken. But Wanderley having a struggle of a season, and this is not helping his case as the car smokes down on the apron. Zach Campbell also smoking. He made contact late in that. Now here come the drivers. They're coming back down pit road, which is not going to be a bad strategy for them. They're going to want to fill up and try to get as much out of their fuel as they can. So it looks like those short pit stops aren't going to be such a problem after all, based on when they take these caution pit stops. Considering that most of these guys just got tires, it's a good guess to say that they're going to go for fuel only. That will help them get to the end of the race. I see some contact in the back there. Brenner, Scott making contact. Here's our race off pit road. You can see John Art, Josh Harris, Colin Lindsay, Tyler Markell, NASCAR number 1. They all had some gains right there. Some big gains, actually. Not sure that some of those other guys took tires, but might have been a fast fuel stop. You can see right here. Here comes Wanderley. He's merging back onto the track where T-Love 48 Man is. Wanderley just completed his pit stop. He spins up. He hits the wall that divides the racetrack from pit road. And then Zach Campbell, he's running the inside line. Wanderley's there, and bang. Campbell goes smoking. Wanderley takes a small spin, and then Van Arsdale, who's in the bubble contention, he makes contact. His car might not be killed, but we'll have to pay attention to that. And then coming to the caution flag, some cars get bunched up, and look at what happens. They all get mashed up together. Cars go spinning. Kingston's car's bunched in. It looks like Butcher's is as well. And Dale Jr. Dude 88, who is our Hardy's Hot Seat winner for this week. You can see he's strung together 3 top 5 finishes in the past 4 races. The lone exception of Twin Ring, but this major incident on the backstretch is going to cost him his ability to keep his points up. You can see that they've taken the hood off of that race car. It's clearly bent in too much for it to handle, but that's definitely going to affect the aerodynamics, and that's going to make that car slower. And now all the cars behind him are going to have to be on their watch, because that could be a big problem for the rest of the field going by them. The lapped cars get the inside line, but on these short tracks, you never know what's going to happen with how these cars might scatter. The pace car ducks off, the green flag flies. Gardner leads them to the green flag. And there you go, Van Arsdale, Dale Jr. Dude 88, both slow. Although it looks like the 81 car is trying to actually get around Van Arsdale. Van Arsdale might be the slow one, and we know that he had made contact with Wanderley at the end of that accident. Colin Lindsay, he's trying to make his way up, but Acevedo's making the pass on the outside. And they're running 3 wide back in the pack. Oh, and we got an accident, and there's big contact with one car up on the wall. Several cars involved. K-Dude 124 is over. Oof, and the pace car almost just hit him as well. McDaniel was heavily smoking. The front end of that car is damaged, and John Green's, he's spinning in turn number 3, and he might have made some contact with Conrad Cooper. And there's more incident. Dale Jr. 88 and Juckham in turn 1. Oh, Finn Kingston. He's made contact with Juckham. And John Green again. Man, oh man, and Goldberg is involved in this as well. There has been 3 separate incidents occurring on this single lap. And this was all going to caution flag. So now we've got the entire field coming to pit road. Several cars are smoking. Johnny Gardner continues to lead the race after that 2-lap run on green flag. Will we see any tires this time around? I see Acevedo, he's taking 2 left side tires. Lindsay's taking 2 right. Rampage 2. Arndt and Gardner came off with 0. You take a look at the chart and you can see how some of these guys distributed their tires. Some of them took left, some of them took right. But Gardner and Arndt elected to take none. And they were the 2 in front of this pack. We take a look at the replay. It looks like Goldberg made contact with McDaniel, and that spun someone down low that took out several cars in this field, and K-Dude 124 takes a tumble on the inside. And then the pace car comes in there. Swerve move by the pace car, but he didn't need to be out there that early. It was a dangerous move indeed. And you can see just how hard this car hits. Bam! Several cars in that. Both the 88, the 77, and the 2 car, they all take heavy hits to that outside wall in turn number 2. Let's ride on board with Dexter Black. He's going to get blindsided right here. Bam! And right driver's side into the wall, and then a hit from Pat Hayes on the other side. Someone else hit him right there as well. He sees the number 77 car go for a flip, but he was a victim in that for sure. Now, later on in the course, here they are bunched up 4 wide, and it looks like the 1890 car, they get bunched up around 42 of John Green, and he takes the fall right there. He slides back down the track, and a tiny bit of contact right there with the number 27 car, and that's not going to fare well for the chase contender. And then later on, Juckham, who's on the lead lap, Dale Jr. 88 is not. They slide. They make contact, hit the number 23 of Andrew Rich. The 81 car slides on the pit road. He hits the pit road wall. As you see right there, this is full speed. He immediately goes to the pits. Goes to his stall. Gets some work done, and the 26 makes contact with Juckham, slides back down the racetrack, and there goes Goldberg as John Green hits the number 52 as well. And then his car is destroyed. So a very action-packed lap right there. We'll see what they can get done in the rest of this race. We're going to head back to a restart on lap number 39. The green flag back up in the air. You can see we've got the number 8, the number 67. They're down on the bottom line. Someone comes in there late. That would be the 81 car. Dexter Black's down there as well, and you can see that they're trying to maintain pace, but they're bunching up the rest of this field. And they are getting wicked bunched up in there. They're going 3 wide as they enter turn number 1. Dexter Black wants none of that. Van Arsdale's on the outside line now. He's bunched up a bunch of cars. You can see there's been a pack of a breakaway right here. All the way back to number 33, and then from there it's a big bunch up of lapped cars blocking other cars. Johnny Gardner. Paul Brenner still running a decent pace, and there goes Harrison Butt over. Lego Bush, Pat Hayes, they're both involved in it, as Harrison Butt takes a tumble and gets a little more contact from Hayes. We were just talking about how Paul Brenner was maintaining his pace despite starting a lap down, but looks like he was not going to have a problem. It looked like it happened further back in the field, back where all that action was happening. Pat Hayes, he's got some damage to his front. He's going to pull it on the pit road, and here comes the rest of the field. Flagman waves the green flag, and that means people can come down to pit, and it looks like the lead lap cars are going to take advantage of that. It's going to be another pit stop for them. We're going to see how they manage their tire strategy. Some cars didn't take tires. That'd be Gardner and Arndt. I didn't take tires on that last pit stop, and now they might be needing some. But we'll see how everyone else fares out. You can see there goes Bandon and Cooper. They're going to elect for no tires. Possibly a little bit of body work right there. Gardner pulls into his stop first. Rampage makes contact with Acevedo. As we look at these cars, I am seeing Arndt taking two right side tires, but a lot of other drivers are electing gas only. Arndt's going to drop back in the pack now, as he takes 4 tires actually, but you can see this top 10 group, all no tires for them. Now let's take a look at the accident right here. It looks like Willie is touching the bottom left quarter panel of Lego Busch. He's able to maintain his control, but he takes out Pat Hayes and Harrison Butt in the process. Harrison Butt gets the worst of it as he goes for a tumble several times on the racing surface. And Pat Hayes, guess his car was a little bit out of his control because he hits Harrison Butt yet again. Stephen Welly, here he comes, getting on the left quarter panel. There he goes, and then Pat Hayes gets the contact of that. He hits T-Love 48 man and squeezes Van Arsdale a little bit, but Willie maintains control of the car. Here's from Pat Hayes' view as they go into turn number 2, and bam! And Harrison Butt, he gets squeezed by both of those race cars. We're going to hit a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more racing action.
Heck yeah.
Game on, fellas. You guys are going down.
Oh, it's on now.
Let's do this.
You guys sure you drive for a living?
You guys ever played a video game before?
Is that all you got?
Joey out of nowhere.
Dude, did you just put it in the wall?
He's got me on the high side. Whoa, watch him low.
We're gone. Dang, Joey, you're smoking today.
Just like Kyle's car.
Thank you, cover boy.
And Joey's bringing the heat.
How are you so much better than us?
Hey, Kyle, is that NASCAR Heat Evolution?
Wait, who's playing the game then?
Eat my brake dust.
Pre-order now at NASCARheat.com. Rated E for everyone.
Already in this race, a couple of big accidents taking out numerous drivers, but we go back to green flag on lap number 46 to see if we can get some green flag racing in. Johnny Gardner led the field off of pit road. He will have P number 1 heading into this restart. Paul Brenner pulls in front of him. Brenner would love to get his lap back. At the moment, he looks like he's doing pretty well. 3 wide right here. And we got, Marty Johnson. He's on the apron, and it's not going to work. And he puts Smith, Markell, and Van Arsdale into the wall. They slide down the racetrack. The caution flag is out. Smith goes on his roof and sticks there. Somehow, Marty Johnson got onto that apron, and he did not have a good line into turn number 1. There's the caution flag waving. Paul Brenner gets his lap back. And it looks like Saora won that battle back to the start-finish line. Acevedo, he needs a bonus point very badly if he wants to have some good position for chase contention. But at the moment, he's still running pretty good. He's going to be in P number 2 as they enter pit road. They're going to have more pit stops right here. Sounds like a lot of teams want to take advantage of every caution that they get. He actually pulled ahead of Saora, but Saora did, in fact, win that race back. He'll take his spot back as the rest of the field files in behind him. They're all coming in. We got to see what they do on tire strategy. This time we saw a lot of 0 tire takers. Could we see some 4 tires, or will we see a continuation of 2 tire stops? Let's see what they do. I see Saura jacked up on the right side. Some of these front pit stalls. Acevedo's up. Gardner, Lindsay, Rampage are all on their 2 tires. Looks like Harris might have taken 2 as well as Saura. Let's see what the rest of these cars do. Rampage is off. Gardner's taking 4 tires as well as Lindsay. Acevedo's still on the right side jack. Acevedo's going to drop back here. I'm not sure if he got some damage in that one, but he had to do something because he spent a large amount of time on pit road. Here's what happened. Smith makes contact with Johnson. That's going to be the buzzkill for him because here Johnson has no place to go except up because this is a bad place to be on the apron as you enter turn number 1 because that banking is way too steep to make a safe transition. So Johnson didn't have any place to go without slowing down, and slowing down wasn't going to help him that much either. He plows back into the 18 car, and 2 other cars go with him. You can see right here, he gets a little loose off of turn number 4. He runs up the racetrack, but he doesn't have any place to go after this, and he's going to have to run into whoever he has on his outside. Markel and Van Arsdale become victims of that, and Smith hits the apron, flips himself over. So he is actually back out on course, amazingly. Looks like the damage he actually sustained from that accident wasn't too major, despite going onto his roof. But Josh Harris is going to lead the field back to the green flag, and we're halfway through this one. Oh, we got a T-Love 48 man spinning on the infield. It looks like we're still green. He spins on the inside out of the racing groove. He's back up there now, but he didn't spin in front of anybody, so the green flag is still out, but he's running slow on the apron and he's kind of nudging the racing groove. And there we go, Paul Brenner. He just got his lap back. And NASCAR Fan 1418, they both plow into him. And I believe they're racing another lap. I think they had crossed the finish line before this accident had happened. You can see they're going to go to the outside of the limping NASCAR Fan 1418. He had been probably up top, and we got more accidents. John Arndt, William Brock, he's one of the chase contenders. NASCAR Fan 19, he was close as well, even though he was not in the top 10 in points. John Arndt. Another one of those up in that groove. NASCAR Fan 1418 being involved in that first accident. He had been probably up top in the standings for so long. He has just suddenly found nothing out of this series as he has gone on a series of terrible finishes and falling out of the top 10 in points. And that streak continues as he crashes out of this event at Hillside. The cars are coming back down pit road. I think we might be seeing some strategy from some of these drivers. I feel like some of them have actually stayed out. I think that's going to involve Marty Johnson and Grayson Acevedo. As they come down, I'm seeing very few tires being taken. I see a lot of fuel-only strategy. We take a look at where these guys came off. You can see Sauer take 2 left side tires. Lindsay took 2 right side tires. They both lose some positions on there. Here's what happened. Andrew Rich gets into the back quarter panel of T-Love 48 man. He spins into the inside. No harm, no foul. The car is off the racing grid. It's far enough back in the pack where supposedly no one's going to come for him, but he was limping way too close to the racing surface, as we're going to see in the replay in just a few seconds. Here he spins back on the racing groove, but no one's around. They're all in turn number 1. But here he's running, limping right on the apron. Paul Brenner, he shouldn't have been running down that far, but he did not anticipate well where the 12 car was going, and the 7 car of NASCAR Fan 1418 falls with him. Now here's what happened with that 3 car incident right here. Dan Bandon, he hooks NASCAR Fan 19. He barely taps this inside wall, and then from there, he has nowhere to go but straight up the racing surface, and bam, William Brock's car is killed. John Arndt makes some decent contact as well. NASCAR fan 19 is smoking. He might be done for the day. Well, we see several cars continue to drop out of this race as they make heavy contact in these accidents. It's becoming a war of attrition at this point. So it's time to see what we can do. Acevedo and Marty Johnson stay out. They are going to lead the field back. John Arndt leads the inside line where all the damaged cars are. All the lapped cars. And it's not going to work. Nick Smith goes around again. And this is a big accident. As many as... Oh, if Conrad Cooper gets knocked in there, this could be as many as 10 cars involved in this one. Matt Johnson is stuck on the apron. Alexander Miller propped up underneath him. Nick Smith had just been involved in an accident. Now he gets involved in another one. Conrad Cooper is smashed in. He got knocked against the wall. Dan Bandon had spun around NASCAR fan 19. Let's take a look at this one. And it looks like Alexander Miller had a big run going in. He ran into the slow car of Nick Smith. Miller was running that inside line, and then suddenly all of these cars in the back of the field get turned around. You can see right there, Cooper hit the back of Smith and then squeezed in the driver's side door of Andrew Rich. NASCAR fan 19 involved in that one, Stephen Willie. Here we'll see from Miller's perspective, you can see he gets the inside of Flash, and then the slow line on the inside. He's getting up on Weeks, and then bam! Weeks is barely gets away from that one, and he needs it for his point situation. He's outside the top 35. If these cars continue to wreck, he could be back in there in a flash. And then right here, he just gets stuck behind Matt Johnson, who's stuck on the apron, and he gets stuck there as well. Here comes the Flash, who got passed by Miller right here, and boom, he just gets squeezed in and runs away. We'll be right back.
People ask me to endorse the strangest things. A green recliner? Not much of a sitter. I like going fast. 68 Shelby, and there's only about 300 and some odd made. This car rips. Pure oil now. Keeping them up's half the fun. They all get Pure Later filters. Pure oil later. I snag them from the track. Legends live. Pure Later, Pure Later.
The cars come around. Acevedo and Johnson made their pit stops. Now Harris and Rampage are going to lead this field back. Lap number 64. Several cautions have taken out multiple drivers. As you can see, some drivers on the inside line continuing to try to make moves for as long as they can. Some of your leaders, they pop out in front of that line, which continues to run slow. They're held up at the front by Arndt. Oh, and some of them make contact, and there goes Smith again. That is the third accident he's been in, and his car is finally destroyed. I don't see him coming back from that one as he smacks the outside wall. Dan Bandon is also involved in it. And that's also not the first incident he's been a part of. Here comes the rest of the field. They take the caution flag. Harris leads them. And it looks like it's going to be a pit stop lap for some of these drivers. Not sure that we're going to see Marty Johnson and Acevedo continue this sequence of pitting alternate to the rest of the field, considering the runs that we're making in 1 or 2 green flag lap intervals. The green flag goes up and everyone's allowed to go pitting now. Let's see who stays out and who stays on. Most of the field comes down. Harris, Rampage, Gardner, Sauer, Weeks. Your top 5 all coming in. It looks like Johnson stayed out right there. It's time to scout out the pit strategy here. Harris enters his stall. I see him get jacked up for 2 tires on the right. Let's see what the rest of the field does. We see Gardner and Rampage. They go up on the right side jack. Lindsay's going to take 2 left side tires only. Saura is off. It looks like Josh Harris takes 4 tires, and so does Rampage. It looks like basically the entire field went for tires, but 2 versus 4 tires determined where these guys are coming off of pit lane. So here's what happened. In turn 3 and 4, Smith gets to the inside of Dexter Black. Both lapped cars. Dan Bannon's just behind Smith and sends him careening head-on into the outside wall in turn 4. His front of the car smashed in and smoking. On board abandoned. He's got a little bit of damage himself. He's running behind Smith, and then right there, that incident occurs, and he slides up the track a little bit, makes more contact with Smith, but he manages to keep it going. I even saw a little bit of contact being made in front of him. It was off camera, but I saw some debris being flown, so some more contact being made on the track. Johnson and Acevedo, they stayed out. They maintain the lead as we hit lap number 70 on this restart. Once again, the field held up by this inside line, running very slow. Oh, and another incident in turn 4. It's just like the one before. Markel and T-Love 48 man. Markel is stopped. Reese Butcher also involved in that. His front is smashed in. Another incident of cars being way too aggressive coming into turn number 4. And we see Johnson and Acevedo come in. They make their pit stops. Alexander Miller gets trapped behind the pace car, but I believe he took his lap back at the moment. We've been cutting away from Johnson and Acevedo taking a odd sequence of pit stops. So we'll take a look at Johnson as he comes in. See what kind of strategy he pulls off right here. He'll be at the back of the lead lap, but if he can put 4 fresh tires on there, he'll be good. It looks like he's just going to go for the 2 left side tires, fill up that tank of gas. He'll be a little bit short before getting to the finish line, but hopefully another caution flag might get him to the end. Here's what happened in turn 3 and 4. It looks like Dexter Black once again involved, getting clipped in the left rear by Tyler Markel, and then slides up the racetrack with T-Love 48 man and taking out Reese Butcher. Dexter Black seemingly is the slowest car out of this bunch that are trying to go around, trying to put up as many laps as they can and stay in contention for position. But Dexter Black just doesn't seem to be doing it well. We head back to the green flag. Lap number 75. Gardner leads them this time. Dexter Black is in front of this pack again. And another accident. And this time it's Matt Johnson who has been involved in an accident so far tonight, and it looks like he's going to be stuck on the apron for a second time. In his lap number 75 crash, the caution's out. Gardner continues to bleed Saura. It's going to be a regular pit sequence for most of these drivers. And at this point, they might have enough gas to get to the end. It's just going to depend on how much do they trust their tires to get them to that spot. Looking at the back of Gardner, Saura. He's already won this season. He is hungry for another win. That would put a bubble driver in contention. Johnny Gardner looking for a win. He's been dominant for a lot of this race. The cars come in. Lindsay props up on 2. As does Rampage. Gardner's off. Acevedo takes left side tires. Looks like Johnson and Acevedo took off the sequence of odd pit stops, and they came in with the rest of the field. Marty Johnson's the only one that didn't take any tires on that side of pit stops, but everyone else did. And right here, it looks like Johnson came up a little high on the flash, hit the inside wall, came back down, hit the flash, and then Bandon gets collected as he hits the outside wall. Acevedo makes a nice swerve move to avoid that one. Checks up on the brakes just enough and avoids incident. Going to keep adding to his points lead. Flagman holding out the yellow flag. It's going to go green in just a second. Lap number 80. We're just over 3/4 of the way done. Johnson's lost a lap. Matt Johnson, that is. But he continues to run the inside line. He's looking to be a decent pace, but he's a little bit damaged. It's going to cause him a little bit of problem. So many of the cars try to run to the outside of the others. Oh, and we got smoke, and there's Matt Johnson. As we had just talked about, and Bandon's going around, Dexter Black's going around, Black is smoking, Golden's around. Marty Johnson was a part of that. As we were just discussing, Johnson looked like he had a decent run going right there with the damaged car, but it looks like he got turned around and sent others with him. Let's take a look what happened here. That kind of started a little late, but it looks like he runs and hits the outside wall head on and collects Marty Johnson in the process. He comes down and clips Dexter Black. Black clips Dan Bandon onto the apron. That makes him spin around. Golden, I didn't see what happened to him, but he had also gone around mid-pack. Golden possibly hit the apron. Let's take a look what happened here. Oh, you can see Golden actually made contact with Johnson, and Johnson hit the inside pit road wall, and then Golden came up and hit Lindsay. Oh, and NASCAR number 1 actually came up and hit Carson Scott, and that might bunch up his hood. Here's Rampage's view, and you can see Johnson, he had that same problem that Marty Johnson had, which made him collect Nick Smith, and there's the incident with Carson Scott. But that was the same type of incident. This time, Marty Johnson became a victim. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break for the conclusion of the Cabela's Day Race.
I'm in a nightmare.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Caution flags have been the story here today. It's been a real crash fest here at Hillside. Plenty of cars not being able to get it done. After a long green flag run to start off the race, approximately 25 laps, but here on lap number 86, almost half the cars left in the field are on the lead lap. And we're talking about the ones that are still running. Several of them are still a lap down and trying to continue to run just for the sake of trying to get points. Tilo 48, man, he's been beaten up, and you can see the damage all across his car. He just tries to get around this track. Johnny Gardner, Harry Saura, Noah Cars. Cars is running the back of the point standing. Wouldn't a win be great for him? Bandon and Willie have spun in the back. Damage for both of them, but the caution has not come out. Bandon involved in another accident. Willie, his hood's already off. He's been involved in an accident as well, but still managing the run. But now they've spun around. Looks like their days are continuing to fall apart. But we have not gone the caution. We're staying green. This happened in the back of the field. We discussed that Johnny Gardner is looking for a win to put himself into the chase. Harry Saura, who's already won, he's hooking up to the back bumper, trying to get around Johnny Gardner. Trying to find any way he can possibly do that. Noah Cars would love to see both of these guys get into the wall. He can swoop in there and get a win himself to try to propel himself out of the rut that he's in right now in points. On board with a flash. Running back with some of these guys that are continuing to run in a pack. Carson Scott, you can see his hood is off. He got bunched up in an instant with the number 33 car. His hood got taken off late in this race. And Gardner's pulling up to the lapped car of John Arndt, and he gets slowed down. Harry Sauer cuts to the inside. Harry Sauer, who's already won a race this season, gets to the race lead. And Johnny Gardner gets hauled up by Arndt, and they wreck! Johnny Gardner takes out John Arndt. And NASCAR main number 1 hits him, and it's a big accident on the backstretch with 5 laps to go. Several cars smashed to pieces. T-Love 48 man comes in there late. Incredible incident as the leader, Johnny Gardner, gets held up by a slow car of John Arndt. Then hooks him in the left rear. And both cars get clobbered. The number 1 car of Rampage, he was running the 4th position. He'll be 3rd as they come to the restart, but he got damaged in that as well. He had a little bit of contact with both of those cars as they hit the inside wall. Here's a replay of what just happened. Bang! John Arndt, he rides the wall. There's Rampage, he squeezed them in there, hit the outside wall, continued on. Johnny Gardner's car is killed. Harris goes around, and then the 33 car plows into the 6 car, and then everyone from there gets involved in this accident. Dejan Weeks manages to get through it, but several cars are bent and out. Here we take a look at what happened. John Arndt, indecisive on where to go with this fast pack approaching him. Harry Sauer cuts to the inside, and Noah Cars goes there too. Rampage is about to do it, but Johnny Gardner tried to make the same move as John Arndt moved down. And then, from behind them both, as they wreck, bang. Huge contact with the 33 car. Acevedo gets torn up the Flash. Let's ride along with the Flash as he goes through this. Straight in the Acevedo. None of these cars slowing down. They're all trying to get position to put themselves into the chase. So as we come around, this is a 2-lap shootout to the finish line. The number 1 car doesn't get taken off. He is damaged. He is slow. They run single file in the last 10 laps of the restart, and the 1 car drops to the back of the pack. Harry Sauer leads the race. He has won a race so far. Noah Cars has not. Can he take the win away? Can he put himself in a contention spot to get himself into the chase? The white flag is waved. Harry Sauer comes around turn 1 and 2. Josh Harris, who's already won a race as well, he holds back on this and tries to see if he can pull off a move. If Harry Sauer can stay consistent in turn number 3 and 4, he comes around. Turn number 4, the checkered flag waving. Harry Sauer wins his 2nd race of the season. That puts him straight into a lock for the chase. He is going to put himself another 3 points ahead of the rest of the field. And now a bubble spot is open at the back end of the chase field. Some exciting accidents and a huge race for some of these drivers to get into the chase. You can see only 7 drivers take the finish line of this race. Grayson Acevedo, who's running in the top bubble spot, crashed out in the last wreck. He still finished 11th. He's still in a good position to take the new bubble spot that just popped up. Several other drivers that did not finish. Paul Brenner, your points leader, finished 30th. John Green, who was in contention for a bubble spot, he finished 35th. Now we take a look at the current standings. You can see Grayson Acevedo continues to lead. Alexander Miller, John Arndt, William Brock, they're still in the top 10. Harry Saura, he's now labeled blue. That means he's got 2 wins on the season. Nick Smith, he's put himself in a good spot, 17th. Further down the field, you can see everybody who's won a race so far this season is now eligible, as everyone continues to run in the top 35. Noah Carr's propelled himself into 35th position despite not winning the race. And now a look at the current chase standings. That cutoff line is going to have a white name above it. Someone who doesn't win a race is going to have a spot in the chase. Acevedo has the best chance right now. Harry Saura is going to have 6 bonus points as they enter the chase. Everyone else that does have a win will have 3, and whoever does not have a win will have 0 bonus points. Well, that is going to do it for us here at Hillside. My name is Colin Denton for RVN. Thank you all for tuning in for more NASCAR Wendy's Cup Series race in action, and we'll see you next week at Progressive Speedway.